Hey guys, what's up? It's another command line here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install Android 4.3 on your Macintosh computer or Windows computer, and well, potentially even Linux. It works on all three operating systems, and yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into it. So you're going to need to download and install VirtualBox. I'll have the download link for all three operating systems. And you're going to also need the Android ISO, which I'll also include a download link to that as well. And after you install VirtualBox, you're going to want to go ahead and open it here. I already have it in my dock right there. And you're going to want to go ahead and come up to new. Just ignore all this stuff here. Doesn't really matter. You can read it later. Anyway, new, and you're going to type in the name of the Linux version you want, and it can be anything. The name doesn't matter, it's just you have to have Linux selected, and if you do type in Linux, it's going to automatically detect it's a Linux type. Anyway, just select other Linux 64-bit if you have a 64-bit processor. If you have 32-bit, then go ahead and just select the normal other Linux, because we're going to be installing Android, and I don't see any Android on here. Anyway, let's continue. And you're going to want to go ahead and tell it how much RAM you want for the virtual machine to be using while it's open. If you have 4 gigabytes, go ahead and just use 512. If you have more than that, just donate a gigabyte. I mean, it's Android, doesn't need much more than that. So right here, it's basically telling you to create a virtual hard drive. Leave that the same, leave that the same. And this, I'll explain right now. So I would just leave it at 8 gigabytes, by the way. I mean, most Linux versions don't take over 8 gigabytes when it goes to the install. But for this here, dynamically allocated basically means that that the file will expand as you continue to use disk space, and fixed size means it's always going to be that. So this 8 gigabytes will either be a like a gigabyte, and then it will continue to expand as I use data, or I could make it fixed size where it is always going to take up 8 gigabytes. If I were you, I would just leave it at dynamically allocated. It works fine. So just click create. It's going to finish up the process, and now that it has, you're going to see all of the specs down here that we gave it. And don't click start. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to tell you to select an image, but we can do that from the settings. So basically, click the settings button, go over to storage, click on the empty disk, click the disk up here, and you're going to give it the path to the ISO image. I personally have mine on my desktop. I recommend keeping them inside of the documents folder and inside of a folder I just called my VirtualBox, but it's a lot more organized this way. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be showing Android. So you just select Android, it's going to show the location, the size, I mean, all that great stuff. Click OK, start, and now we are going to be starting into the installer. And if you do plan on using this in the future, don't just do live CD, because that won't actually install it to the partition. Just click installation. I mean, if you don't care, use live CD, but I recommend that you do care. So go ahead and just select installation. It's going to go ahead and boot into the installation for us here. Select create/modify partitions. You're going to go ahead and press the N key on your keyboard for new. Hit return, return. Make sure it's bootable, so you're going to want to hit return on that. Now to write it, you're going to want to make sure caps lock is on, or you have the shift key and you just hit W. And basically what this is telling me that if I'm writing to the wrong partition, it's basically telling me that it's going to write over the partition. Luckily, it's not my actual computer, and it's not an actual partition either. If I go to storage here, you can see that there's no new partition. Boot Camp is because I have Windows installed on this. But it's kind of like a fake partition, I guess you could say. It's somewhere in the other section, but that's always nice. But yeah, okay, so let's switch back over here. Now that you have this all done, go ahead and press Q and hit return and just format it to FAT32. Just keep hitting yes. And now we're going to go ahead and finish up the installation. Now we're going to run Android, and we're going to have ourselves an Android virtual machine. So we're welcomed with the Android boot up screen, and this might take a little bit longer than normal. It's because it's its first boot. Shouldn't take too long though. And something you guys may notice is that the mouse disappears when, well, you guys don't see it, of course, because I'm screen recording, but I see it and you will notice it. It's because most operating systems have a cursor or mouse built into them. Of course, Android does not, so it's very irritating. See, I can blindly select start. I had no idea that was there, but I recommend just using the arrow keys. It works fine. And also for the network, if you have any problems, you can always go into settings and try and fix that. I mean, I've had problems here and there, but for the most part, it's all right. And then if you want to get out of it, I recommend just doing power off machine. It's just a lot quicker. It's because if you just do shutdown, it's going to tell the device to shut down. I don't know, it's really no sense in it. And also, you guys may be like, oh no, I made it and I don't want it anymore, and why did I do that? It's probably permanent. No, it's not. Don't worry about it. Just click the remove button, delete all files, and it just removed everything really, except for the ISO image. But yeah, so that's basically how you install Android on OS X. Works the same for Windows and Linux. It works for all other operating systems as well. I have tried Linux, it works flawlessly. Same with Android, which is pretty much just another version of Linux. I've tried Windows. I think I was doing it wrong because I tried to take the installation disk and turn it to an ISO. Didn't really work out, but I will probably be doing a tutorial on that as well. But anyway, I hope this was useful. If it was, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my channel if you want more reviews. And anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.